Good evening, friends. Welcome to the PANSIGHT webinar. Let me start this session right away. I assume the slide is visible and I'm audible. Today's topic is closed loop communication. I contacted 10 people and asked them whether they know anything or something about closed loop communication. 9 out of 10, no idea. One person gave the correct answer and he subsequently admitted that I guessed. So he used to guess and he gave the correct answer. So now I would like to know how many of you, now you are here, have heard this term closed loop communication, or you know something about closed loop communication. If you don't know, in the chat box, put N in the chat box, alphabet N. We'll be interacting through the chat box. N, okay, Koshiji, good. The reason that I'm good എന്ന് പറയാനുള്ള കാരണം, so that feedback helps me. And this is what is called closed loop communication. What I do is, Roy MCG, every session, I usually ask the people, okay, is it clear? Do you agree? That is, then when you respond, closed loop communication. Now, is it clear? It is not a one way. Sender, you are the receiver, and when you send the message back, it completes that loop. Clear? If it is clear, put C in the chat box. I want to make sure that you have understood it. Okay, thank you, Venugopal. I take pains to make sure. Okay, thank you, Vishwanathji. I take pains to make sure that everything is crystal clear. Okay. Thank you, Vishwanathji. I have started showing this slide, statutory warning. If you are allergic to facts and truths, please leave this session immediately. Plenty of people, they don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to know the facts. They have some bias. Understand? They have some prejudices. And when they hear the truths or facts, that upsets. Because now it is against their beliefs. For example, now Koshiji and Roy MCG. This example, I'm sure Roy Cherianti also. You must be aware of this fact. Some 300 years ago, in Italy, a famous physicist, Galileo, he invented a telescope and he looked at the sky and he confirmed a previous observation by, I think that Ptolemy, that it is the earth which revolves, not the sun. The earth is revolving around the sun, not the sun. What happened? It was a fact, it was a truth that upset the Pope, church officials. That was against the belief, against the biblical belief. So he was arrested and he stayed under house arrest for a few years. So truth, he told the truth and allergy to the truth that happened. Are you aware of this fact? If you are aware, put A in the chat box, please. So truth is dangerous. Because I usually share facts and truths. Okay, Venugopal. Then some people feel offended, they feel angry. And after the session, sometimes they do. When I talk to them, നിങ്ങൾ അത് ശരിയായില്ല കേട്ടോ നിങ്ങളാ പറഞ്ഞത്, ഇത് എന്തോന്നാണിത്? I said, okay, tell me. If you have a counter fact, tell me. Then I am ready to apologize. Okay. illa. Nothing. But they feel angry, they feel upset. So that is why I decided, okay, I will put this statutory warning. Okay, if you are allergic to truth or facts, please leave. This is my mission. 4E. Entertain, educate, enlighten, and empower. Always my webinars are based on FAQ, facts, anecdotes. Anecdote means storytelling, real life stories or fictional stories, quotations. There are many books on miscommunication, failure to communicate, miscommunication. This is the one, you know. But I did not mean that. Haven't you heard? The politicians, they deny. ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെയല്ല പറഞ്ഞത്, അതിനെ വളച്ച് ഒടിച്ചു. Am I right, Roy MCG? ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെയല്ല പറഞ്ഞത്, വളച്ചൊടിക്കുകയാണ് വാർത്ത. Every day, not even one day passes without hearing somebody denying. Oh, that is distorted. What exactly is communication? Very simplified definition. The process of conveying information, ideas, or feelings through verbal or non-verbal means. Verbal, using words. Non-verbal, body language, as well as my voice tone. That is what communication is. Is it simple? If it is simple, put yes in the chat box. Because I don't simply follow a definition from Webster's dictionary or Cambridge dictionary. I spend some time, okay, thank you. I spend time to make sure that what I'm sharing, it makes complete sense. Okay, thank you. I like this quote very much. I'm sure that you will also agree. You always risk people misunderstanding you when you say anything. Okay, I'm going to share an anecdote. Real life example. You know, just a couple of months back, as part of the Operation Sindoor, on day 1, India targeted and attacked 9 terror hubs. 9 terror hubs. Then what happened? Our External Affairs Minister, Jaishankar, he told that at the start of the Operation Sindoor, we informed the Pakistan that we are going to attack only the terror hubs, not the military. Then what happened? You know the story. Immediately, our LOP, without mentioning the name, you know who that LOP is. Jaishankar should be. That is a criminal offense. He leaked the information to Pakistan. That is why they shot down our 6 aircrafts. I want to know how many aircrafts were shot down. They were alerted by the External Affairs Minister. This is a treason. Are you aware of this news? If you are aware, put A in the chat box. I just want to make sure that we are all on the same page. I'm giving a real life, thank you, Elaji. Real life example which happened very recently. Okay, Roy MCG. So that is where that quote, okay, Ravindranathji, that is where that quote, I'm going to read that quote once again. What is that quote? You always risk people misunderstanding you when you say anything. Then subsequently, several times, no, at the start, not before. They are not informed before. And they clarified. It was not Jaishankar who called them. It was the DGMO India. They communicated with the DGMO of Pakistan. And that too, 30 minutes after we started they launched the missiles. The 9 terror hubs were eliminated within 22 minutes. Misunderstanding, misinterpretation. Do you like this example? If you like this example, put L in the chat box. Because I want to make sure that is whatever I have shared. Okay, thank you, Manojji. Okay, Krishnaraji, thank you. That should make perfect sense. Okay, thank you, Roy Chiranji. Okay, Barsaji, thank you. Again, another quotation. You have to put up with the risk of being misunderstood if you are going to try to communicate. That is a message for Jaishankar. You have to be prepared, okay? That is, your message will be misunderstood. And here, I will blame Jaishankar. You should have, instead of saying that at the start, you should have said that 30 minutes, added 3 or 4 minutes, 3 or 4 words. 30 minutes after we started firing the missiles, we informed. Do you agree? Then there would not have been any misunderstanding. Do you agree? So I will blame Jaishankar. Do you agree? Yes. Thank you, Vilshnaji. Always at times, that is, they don't realize that is a, and you must be very careful, especially you have an opposition who is there to find fault with anything and everything. We don't have an opposition which supports. Just hold on. Just hold on. Oh, thank you. Come on. Okay, I'm in the middle of a meeting. Okay, webinar.
No worries.
You can do it. Okay.
What all bugs are you seeing? Is it spiders? Ants?
Ants.
Ants, okay.
Sorry. But a pest control എന്നുള്ള ആൾ വന്നു ബഗ് സ്പ്രേക്ക് സമ്മർ ആയപ്പോൾ ഒരുപാട് ആൻസ് എല്ലാം ഇങ്ങനെ കിച്ചണിലും എല്ലായിടത്തും ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഓടി നടക്കുന്നു. Okay, so communication, that misunderstanding, Jaishankar is responsible. Most of the trouble in life comes from misunderstanding, I think. Conflict between husband, wife, conflict between parents and children, conflict at work. Most of the time, it is because of misunderstanding. Am I right? If I'm right, put R in the chat box. Most of the time, it is the misunderstanding that creates, thank you, Vinodji, that creates conflict and all sorts of problems. A British philosopher, always remember that it is impossible to speak in such a way that you cannot be misunderstood. There will always be some who misunderstand you. Right? Always that it will be misunderstood. So that one actually made me think, and I have come with my own quotation. This is my own quotation. If a message can be misunderstood, it will be misunderstood. Have you heard Murphy's Law? If you have heard, why in the chat box? There's a law called Murphy's Law. If you have heard, no. Okay, Venugopal Narji, no. Anybody in this group? I'm really a bit surprised. Okay, thank you. Koshiji, okay. Murphy's Law is, yes. Anything can go wrong. Yeah, if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. Yes, if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. That is when you are leaving or going for a attend wedding, car breakdown. If it can go wrong, breakdown, it will break down. So that is what Murphy's Law. So it is a paraphrase. If something can be misunderstood, it will be misunderstood. I'm going to entertain you. Again, another anecdote which happened long time back, 40 years back, when I was in Toronto Medical College, casualty duty, in the night around 2 o'clock. One patient was brought after some kind of a assault, and he was bleeding from the face, and his shirt was drenched in blood, and he had a bystander also, and my counterpart, the surgeon, and he was in a very bad mood because around 2 o'clock he was called down, he was taking rest, and he saw a patient with assault. It's a medical legal case. The medical legal case, okay, a lot of paperwork. You have to write name, everything, details, and send a copy in triplicate, one copy to the police station, one copy he has to save. Subsequently, the court again, he'll have to go to the court 3 or 4 times, in the order, they keep on postponing. So he was in a very bad mood. So I was sitting and I was taking care of another patient with some asthma. And asked his name, and the pere, Damodaran. Achane pere, Govindan. Evideyana Salam, Avarkala. All those things. He was not even looking at the patient. എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് അടിച്ചത്? പേഷ്യന്റ് കരഞ്ഞോണ്ട്, സാറേ വിരോധം കൊണ്ടാണ് അടിച്ചത് സാറേ. My friend stared at him. ഞാൻ എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് അടിച്ചതെന്നാണ് ഞാൻ ചോദിക്കുന്നത്. He was confused. He thought that he had answered correctly. എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് അടിച്ചത്? വിരോധം കൊണ്ട്. Bystander. സാറേ ഞാൻ പറയാം, പൂർവ്വ വൈരാഗ്യം കൊണ്ടാണ് അടിച്ചത് സാറേ. My friend lost his cool. ആ ബുക്ക് എടുത്ത് ഒറ്റയടി മേശപ്പുറത്ത്. I was watching this one, the whole thing. I was watching. ഞാൻ എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് അടിച്ചതെന്നാണ് ചോദിച്ചത്. He was repeating the same words again. Now another bystander who was standing some 10 feet away, അയാൾ ഓടി വന്നു, ലുങ്കിയെല്ലാം താത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. നീ എന്തിനാണ് സാറിനൊക്കെ ദേഷ്യപ്പെടുന്നത്? നീ എന്തിനാണ് ദേഷ്യപ്പെടുന്നത്? സാറിന് ദേഷ്യപ്പെടുത്താതെ. സാറേ ഞാൻ പറയാം, വസ്തു തർക്കം കൊണ്ടാണ് അടിച്ചത് സാറേ. എടോ, ഞാൻ വസ്തു തർക്കമാണോ പറയുന്നതല്ല. എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് അടിച്ചത്? വടി കൊണ്ടാണ് അടിച്ചത്? കമ്പി കൊണ്ടാണ് അടിച്ചത്? എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് അടിച്ചത്? സാറേ അത് മറ്റേ വെട്ടുകത്തി കൊണ്ടാണ് അടിച്ചത്. തനിക്ക് മലയാളം അറിഞ്ഞൂടെ? So what happened here? If something can be misunderstood, it will be misunderstood. Because the end, you wonder with what? But they perceive it as why? എന്തുകൊണ്ട് എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് വെട്ടിയത്? ആ ദേഷ്യം കൊണ്ട്. ഇങ്ങനെ ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചത് എന്തുകൊണ്ട്? എന്ത് വച്ചിട്ടാണ്, എന്ത് ഉപയോഗിച്ചിട്ടാണ്? Is it clear? This is a real life incident. Yeah. Communication skills play a key role in building or boosting as well as breaking or blasting relationships. Building or boosting. When you use polite words, please, thanks, that will build a positive relationship and that will boost the relationship. Am I right? Whereas, suppose if the Venugopal analogy, if I am his boss, he worked at the Union Bank. If I was his boss there, and he enters my office to say something, when you leave, close the door. When you leave, close the door. Is it a request or a command? If it is a command, put C in the chat box. If it is a request, put R in the chat box. You watch my words and my body language. Command. Suppose if I say, hey, when you leave, please close the door. Now is it a request? Now is it a request, Prasad? Okay, yes, thank you. Request. So Venugopal Narji will feel good about it. I'm his boss, yes. But I asked him to do something, a tone and words that made him feel good. The other one, he won't feel good. Is this example convincing? Simple example. Every day, the relationship, it breaks because the wrong choice of words. Many people, they don't realize. I myself learned it in the hard way. I shared that story in my previous webinars. These days, I always use lavishly, please, thanks. Any help, if I get from somebody, thank you. Even auto rickshaw driver, after going to the railway station, thanks. He feels good. Relationship can build, boost, or break, or blast. Communication failure is more common than being a medical doctor. I know this for certain. It's more common than heart failure, kidney failure, and liver failure. Communication failure is the mother of all failures. Do you want me to explain? Do you want me to explain? Put E in the chat box. Do you want me to explain? Put E in the chat box. I don't want to make any assumptions. Okay, Roger Angie. Thank you. Explain. Thank you. Because this is that closed loop communication. The doctors, how often do you find a doctor explaining your health problem in easily understandable layman's language? Do they communicate clearly so that you won't have any doubts? If it is no, put in the chat box. No. Thank you. Doctors are very poor communicators and they use the medical jargon. People cannot understand. And when they don't understand, they won't follow the advice, instructions. That's a treatment failure because of the communication failure. Doctor communicating with the nurses again problems. Doctor prescription, handwritten prescription. If the patient cannot read, obviously he's not going to follow the advice correctly. So communication failure is the mother of all failures. Now is it clear? If it is clear, put C in the chat box. Is it clear? There are numerous examples. Thank you, Raji. Numerous examples. Okay, Raji ji. But I shared one example. That should be enough. That's where my strength is. My strength is I explain things clearly, easy to understand, a layman. Because of that, many patients, they complimented. They gave what you call nominated me for excellent customer service. No, Dr. Reddiar explained everything to me clearly. Explained everything. Closed loop communication, I have put that acronym CLC, depends on sender, receiver, sender feedback, SRS. For example, sender, if I didn't ask you, then if you don't know what it is, there is communication failure. And I asked you, do you want me to explain? Okay, now that feedback from the receiver, explain. So I'm explaining. Then after explaining, again, I ask you, is it clear? Then you're putting C back to me. So I have been always practicing the CLC. But do you find this one CLC, many webinars? You might have attended many webinars. I'm sure Roy MCG, he must have attended after the beginning of this COVID, easily some 500 webinars. Am I right? So they don't. As far as I know, I'm one of the rarest speakers. Always CLC. എൻ്റെ ഒരു നെയ്ബർ പുള്ളി പറഞ്ഞു, എന്തിനാണ് ഓരോ തവണയും അവർ ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ ഇടാൻ ചോദിക്കുന്നത്? പറഞ്ഞു പോയാ പോരെ, ഇതെല്ലാം സ്ലോ ചെയ്യുന്നില്ലേ? നോ, ഞാൻ ഫിനിഷ് ചെയ്യും. പക്ഷേ people have not understood. How are they going to get it clarified? It's not the speed. Most important thing is, ഇപ്പോൾ ഫുഡ് തന്നെ കഴിക്കുന്നു, വഴിച്ച് ഇങ്ങനെ കഴിഞ്ഞാല് ഇൻഡൈജഷൻ ആണ്. നന്നായിട്ട് ചവച്ച് അരച്ച് കഴിക്കുമ്പോഴേ ഡൈജസ്റ്റ് ആകത്തുള്ളൂ. Same way, any communication, especially what I'm sharing is always new information. Closed loop communication, കേട്ടിട്ടില്ല, പലതും കേട്ടിട്ടില്ല. അങ്ങനെ ഇരിക്കുമ്പോൾ I should not. ഞാനൊരു നോൺ സ്റ്റോപ്പ് ഒരു ഫ്ലൈറ്റ് പോലെ പോരുത്. Stop. CLC can prevent 7 things. Misunderstandings, I told you earlier. Conflict, again, misunderstanding can lead to conflict. തെറ്റിദ്ധാരണ, അത് പിണക്കം, വഴക്ക്. Assumptions, something is not clear, people may assume. For example, another real example I'm going to share. Again, 40 years back, when I was working in the Medical College Trivandrum, one scientist from England, he came there and he was invited to give a talk. Our lecture hall was jam-packed. Nearly 100 people were there. On my left side, there was the assistant professor. On my right side, there was associate professor. I was sitting in the middle. I was a tutor. The talk was on about immunology. Now people know. Many people are aware of the term immunology. Almost 45 years back, no. And he showed some slides. There was no PowerPoint presentation. And from the first slide, he was showing two columns. On one column, nude rats, N-U-D-E, nude rats. The other column, rats. And other slide also, nude rats, rats. If you don't understand, put no. What does it mean? Nude rat? No. Okay, thank you. I was not able to understand. What is nude rat? What about all the rats are nude? What is he saying? Some rats are wearing some shirt or jacket. So I asked the assistant professor who was sitting on my left side, sorry, എന്താണ് ഈ nude rats എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ? He doesn't understand, but he's not asking for clarification. Then on my right side, the associate professor. So I asked him, sorry, ഈ nude rats എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താണ്? നല്ല ചോദ്യമാണ് കേട്ടാ, എനിക്കും പിടികിട്ടിയില്ല കേട്ടാ. എനിക്കും പിടികിട്ടില്ല. And that guy was showing slide after slide, nude rat, rat, nude rat, nude rat. Then I raised my hand. And he said, yes. I said, could you please explain what do you mean by nude rats? Oh, I assumed that you know. Thank you for asking. Nude rats means which are immunologically compromised. That is immune deficient. That is where immunity is low, the COVID infection. That is why they are giving the vaccination to boost your immunity. So there, the rats, immune deficient rats, they are calling nude rats. Is it interesting, this experience? Put I in the chat box. Because I am a person, I always, if I don't understand something, I immediately ask for clarification. I don't make assumptions. Thank you. So take home message. ഇന്നത്തെ സെഷനിലുള്ള take home message is always, always, always. If something is not clear, don't make assumptions. That speaker also, he made an assumption. Oh, nude rats, they all know. He should not have made the assumption. If I didn't ask at the end of the talk, nobody would have understood what he was talking about. Waste of 1 hour. 100 people, 100 man hours wasted. Then confusion, obviously. Then ambiguity, vagueness. That ambiguity is the one. I gave you that example. The casualty, yendu kondu adichu. That can be interpreted as why or with what? Ambiguity. That is what the word ambiguity means. If something can be understood in more than different meanings. Then frustration, obvious. And lastly, all these things will lead to communication failure. My dear friends, that slide is not from any textbook. It's not from any textbook. I spend a lot of time trying to find out one after the other. That is a brainchild. My own brainchild. Did you like it? If you liked it, put L in the chat box. That's a brainchild. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Anthony. Now you want to know what can be done and why is it happening? Why there is the closed loop communication not taking place? Because impatience. എനിക്കറിയാം. എന്താണ് വേഗത്തിൽ പറ. They don't want to listen. Doctors also, they don't want to listen. They don't want to take a good history. And especially in India, the doctors spend hardly 5 or 10 minutes with a patient. What about in USA? Here, usually 20 to 30 minutes, still a significant number of doctors are poor listeners. And the study showed that is within 19 seconds, the doctor interrupts the patient. Patients get frustrated. The doctor also, without a good history, they won't be able to make a right diagnosis. So when I learned this knowledge, I put into practice. There's no point in knowing something if you don't put into action. I never used to interrupt a patient until 1 minute is over. So I never used to sit and stare at the computer also. I used to just use a revolving chair, look at the patient's eyes. Any new problem? Oh, I see. When he said that I'm having headache for 2 days. Oh, okay. 2 days? Okay. So that closed loop. When he says 2 days, I also repeat, 2 days. Okay. And yesterday I vomited. And the evening, oh, you vomited. Okay. So closed loop. So the patient is okay, he's listening. He is listening. Patient gets satisfaction. Got it? That is the necessity of closed loop communication. Many doctors are impatient. Not only doctors, in everyday life, you see people, they are impatient. Then poor listening skill. These days, especially the listening, it was bad in the past, now it has become worse, especially with the cell phone. They'll be looking at the cell phone or scrolling. Am I right? If I'm right, put R in the chat box. You cannot do multitasking when it comes to listening. No. Okay, thank you, Gunanaji. That is exactly what is happening. Children, they don't listen. They are also cell phone. This gadget, the smartphone, has made many people. Phone is smart, people are stupid. Phone has become smart, but people have become stupid. Roy is smiling, so he agrees. That is my assumption. Making assumptions again, that is another. And I told you that example. And ignorance, closed loop communication, hindrance. I don't know. Then I'm not able to understand. And that is where, if I don't know, I should say, sir, could you please explain? Doctor, explain. I don't understand. Or I should take the effort. Is it clear? Do you want me to explain? It's not happening. So that ignorance remains as it stays there. Ego, that is another one. Okay. ഞാനൊരു പ്രൊഫസറായിട്ടൊക്കെയാണ് അവിടെ റിട്ടയർ ചെയ്തത്. ഞാൻ കോളേജിൽ പ്രൊഫസറായിട്ട് എനിക്കിത് അറിഞ്ഞുകൂടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അത് കുറച്ചിലല്ലേ? അല്ലേ? That ego comes in the way. People are reluctant to admit that they don't know. That's exactly what happened. My associate professor who was sitting on my right side, he was 10 years older than me. അറിഞ്ഞുകൂടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എങ്ങനെയിരിക്കും? മോശമല്ലേ? So he was sitting silent, quiet. Is it clear? Many people, that ego comes in the way. If I don't understand, I usually tell them, I don't understand. Sometimes they may even, ഇതുപോലെ അറിഞ്ഞൂടെ? ഞാൻ പറയില്ല, എനിക്ക് അറിഞ്ഞൂടാ കേട്ടോ. ഇതുപോലും എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എനിക്ക് അറിഞ്ഞൂടാ. Maybe others know, but I don't know it. So I learned by admitting ignorance. Ignorance is not a sin. Believe me, my dear friends, ignorance is not a sin. But staying ignorant is a sin. Do you agree? If you agree, put it in the chat box. Ignorance is not a sin. But not doing the right things to clear that ignorance. Thank you, Kruvaji. That is a sin. CLC can eliminate misunderstandings arising from ambiguity and assumptions. Situations where CLC is indispensable. Indispensable is absolutely necessary, essential. Common situation, healthcare settings. That is why many things go wrong. And here is a standard practice, but it is only in emergency situations. A cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest. The patient is arrest, then they call code blue. Overhead, code blue, in what number? 20, room number 10. Okay, team. I may be the leader of the team, physician. There'll be an anesthetist and a couple of nurses. And with that cart, emergency medicines, we reach there. And I said, okay, my instruction to the nurse, adrenaline, 1 milligram. I'm giving the dose may be different. 1 milligram. Then she immediately takes that syringe. Then she, adrenaline, 1 milligram. She gives. Then I look at the screen, atropine, 0.6 milligram. She will say, atropine, 0.6 milligram. And the shock, 200 joules. Defib, that is 200 joules voltage. She will say, 200 joules. That is close to communication. Is it clear? But unfortunately, doctors do that only in an emergency situation for cardiac arrest. But that is required in everyday practice. That they don't realize. They don't realize. There they want to make sure that is the nurse won't give a wrong medicine, wrong dose. Military operations. Always, okay, Operation Sindoor or anything, missile, the order will be okay. Now, target 934 or 935. The degree, location, distance. And they repeat at the other end. And they say, Roger that. The expression, Roger that means, yes, I heard this is it. And here the sender says that, okay, Roger that. Okay, you have heard it correctly. You're going to do it correctly. Any military operation. And what about the aircraft? And the airport, the traffic control, air traffic control, constantly communicate with the pilot. And the alert, okay, now 5,000 feet, descent. And the pilot orders 5,000 feet, descent. Communication, clear. Is it clear? I've given you a couple of examples. If it is clear, put C in the chat box. So closed loop communication, thank you. Then what about corporate settings? Meetings, when they schedule a meeting, or the boss, you should say, okay, we'll have a discussion about this one. I want you to send me the report on before the 15th, and we'll have a meeting on 15th at 3 p.m. in the main conference hall. Then the other person will say that, okay, you want the report before 15th? Yes. A meeting at 3 p.m. Okay. Otherwise, they may not prepare the report, or they may go to the wrong place for the meeting. And here also something happened. We have Koshiji. Is he still here? Yeah, Koshiji. Koshiji, don't feel bad. Okay, I'm going to share some fact. Because this is the first time he's joining. And I sent him a flyer just a day for yesterday. And yesterday he sent me a WhatsApp message. That is, I'm sorry, that is, I couldn't join the meeting. Then I said that the meeting is tomorrow, Thursday at 8 p.m. So that means here what is happening? These days, we are impatient. We get a message, we don't even look at the fine details, specifics. So don't feel bad. Koshiji, that happens. Many people, they do that one. And so that is what it is. confirmation, 8 p.m. So corporate meetings also. When do you want to report? What time? Then everyday life. If you go to a big restaurant with your family or friends, Roy MCG is there, Dr. Shaji is there, and Srimaran Nairji, and Krishnajan, 4 people, you go to a restaurant, and the waiter comes. And Roy MCG, rendu chapati, kurma, very strong tea. Then Shaji, എനിക്ക് ഒരു മസാല ദോശ, പിന്നെ ഒരു ലൈറ്റ് കോഫി. ശ്രീമാൻ നായർ എനിക്ക് ഉപ്പുമ, ഒരു വട, എന്നിട്ട് ഒരു ഹോർലിക്സ്, different orders. And you must have seen some waiters എല്ലാം കേട്ടിട്ട് and you may look at Roy MCG, രണ്ട് ചപ്പാത്തി and kurma and strong tea. This one. That is closed loop communication. Otherwise, he may bring something else. ഞാൻ ഈ കാലത്ത് വടയില്ലേ ചോദിച്ചു, ഞാൻ കട്ടയില്ലേ ചോദിച്ചത്. Sorry. Okay? Have you seen some people bring the order? They don't. That is the matter of closed loop communication in everyday life. During the discussion, I'll be able to share more examples. A relationship should be based on communication, not assumption. Clear communication. Many love failures, or some people, they jump into communication. She smiles at you every time. Okay, he immediately assumes she loves you. He thinks that, okay, she loves him. They proceed thinking that she loves him or likes him. Am I right? If I'm right, put R in the chat box. So don't make assumptions. Okay. It's better to communicate. Hey, I love you. If you are interested in me, if you love me, okay, let us proceed. Clear. No assumption. Other making the assumption, or she likes me, and he may buy expensive gifts also. He may spend money for giving her more and more gifts. She doesn't love him. Okay, she takes, okay, when you give a gift, she'll be happy. After some 3 or 4 months later, when he says that, okay, what about the marriage? What marriage? I love you. And when we talk about the getting married, I never said that I love you. I see you as my brother. You are like a brother. കേട്ടിട്ടില്ലേ വേണോൽ ചാർജി? അവസാനം പൈസയും പോയി, എല്ലാം പോയി, ഫ്രസ്ട്രേഷനുമായി. That is assumption. Next Thursday, the power of asking. Power of asking. That one made a lot of changes in my life. My accomplishments, to a great extent, I became aware of the power of asking. I was not like that. I was not at all like that. When I was a student during my MBBS days, MD days again, no. Everything changed and I realized that is the advantages of power of asking. Then warriors and warriors. Worrying has become a habit, or you can even say a hobby for many people. And advice, what kind of advice do you get? Roy MCG, you know that. വെറുതെ ഒറി അടിക്കണ്ട, വെറുതെ ഒറി അടിക്കണ്ട, കേട്ടിട്ടില്ലേ? വെറുതെ ഒറി അടിക്കാതെ പിന്നെ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം അത് പറയത്തില്ല. Don't worry. Don't worry. You don't know how to stop worrying. But the other person is that, don't worry. And worrying is not thinking. My dear friends, first understand. Worrying is not thinking. I have shared this one few times. Worrying is nothing but replaying an unpleasant or negative thought again and again. Very same thought. And that will makes you feel more and more miserable. And when you go to bed, if you don't stop worrying, you won't be able to get a sleep. You are lying on the bed, but your mind has not stopped working. It is replaying the thought again and again. That is one of the reasons many people, they resort to drinking. Alcohol is a wonderful drug. Alcohol, okay, it makes you, stops you worrying. Don't think that I'm recommending, I am advising alcohol. The right way to deal with that one is think and find a solution. Same Zoom link every Thursday. My dear friends, again, Revendanaraji and others, please, I'm sure that most of you have a cell phone. Alarm clock, set the alarm clock at 7:50. Thank you, Koshiji. 7:50, 10 minutes before every Thursday. Don't put it at the 8 o'clock. You may be in the middle of doing something else. You may be somewhere else. 10 minutes of that time. So that, oh, okay, there's a meeting. I've seen some people saying after the meeting, oh, because when I called them, hey, what happened? That I didn't see you. Several times I tell some people, only a couple of people, they set the alarm. And Koshiji, you like this session because I am sharing my time, knowledge, and the skills. The simple motive is to enlighten and empower others. And some of my friends, they say, hey, I need charge you. Charge free out. Charge why? In the talks, priceless. Price or charge because you won't find it in any books. And I'm sharing from my real life experience. So it's not a cut and copy or paste. So it is priceless, invaluable. So I cannot charge. Okay, now if you have any questions, we have 3 more minutes before I stop the recording. Koshiji, I will continue the session. I'll stop the recording at 9 o'clock. Then we'll have the discussion. At that time, if you want to ask any questions and if you want to share your own experience, your thoughts, you are welcome. And usually the discussion goes anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes. But the recording, I will stop at 9 o'clock. Did I honor my commitment? Entertain, educate, enlighten, empower, 4E. Did I? If I put Y in the chat box. It's a closed loop communication. I don't want to make an assumption. Okay, Venolji, thank you. Thank you, Prime CG. Okay, Krishnaji, thank you. Any question? If you have a question, ask me. Sudhodananji, we have
Yes.
a veterinary surgeon.
Sir, shall I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
Nowadays, there is a new trend of communication among the new gen people. They won't say I love you, I L you. Rejection is IHU, I hate you. And if there is a missing, I am you, I miss you. That's a new gen communication. We old people communicate in full sentence and all that. And nowadays, the communication is like that. And
because of that one, you are right. Because of that, what happens? They don't understand. Yes. There's a communication failure. If somebody put IHU, the other person doesn't understand what IHU, then what is happening?
I hug you. It may be interpreted as I hug you.
I hug you, yeah.
Yes. Nujan.
So all these abbreviations, they can. For
Okay.
example, Venugopal Nariji, he knows Union Bank. And when somebody in the one movie also, Jagadish Srikumar കാണിച്ചു. നിങ്ങൾ എവിടുന്നാ വരുന്നത്? CBI ആണ്. ഒന്ന് അവരെല്ലാം വരണ്ടു പോയി. എന്നാണ് സെൻട്രൽ ബാങ്ക് ഓഫ് ഇന്ത്യ.
Okay.
അത് CBI ആണ്. Okay? Okay.
About doctors, sir,
Okay, thank you, Koshiji. Yeah.
ഇന്നത്തെ മനോരമ പത്രത്തിൽ ഒരു വാർത്തയുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ വേഗം വായിക്കാതെ. ഡോക്ടർമാർ കയ്യക്ഷരം വ്യക്തമായി എഴുതണം. മരുന്ന് വാങ്ങാൻ ഡോക്ടർമാർ നൽകുന്ന കുറിപ്പടി വായിച്ച് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ കഴിയാത്ത രോഗികളുടെയും ബന്ധുക്കളുടെ അവകാശമാണെന്ന് ഡോക്ടർമാർ കയ്യക്ഷരം വ്യക്തമായി എഴുതണമെന്നും എറണാകുളം ജില്ലാ ഉപഭോക്തൃ തർക്ക പരിഹാര കമ്മീഷൻ കുറിപ്പിൽ ജനറിക് മരുന്നുകളുടെ പേരാണ് എഴുതേണ്ടതെന്നും കമ്മീഷൻ ചൂണ്ടിക്കാണിച്ചു. മെഡിക്കൽ രേഖകൾ രോഗികൾക്കും ബന്ധുക്കൾക്കും ഡിജിറ്റലായി ലഭ്യമാക്കണമെന്ന് കമ്മീഷൻ നിർദ്ദേശിച്ചു. പറവൂർ സ്വദേശി സൈജു മുബിന്റെ ഹർജിയിലാണ് കമ്മീഷന്റെ ഉത്തരവ്. അപ്പൊ എല്ലാവർക്കും ഫീൽ ചെയ്യുന്നു ഈ ഡോക്ടർമാർ പുവർ ഹാൻഡ് റൈറ്റിംഗ് ആണ്.
Right. Now, during the discussion, I will share more information related to that one. So I'm going to stop the recording. I'm going to stop the recording. But you have brought a very valid point. I'm going to stop the recording.